I'm going to ask all the council members to come to the well. If all the council members can come to the well. All council members come to the well so that we can start the meeting. All right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Here.
Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Will everyone rise for a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll make the following statement. This meeting of Cleveland City Council is a lawful meeting. Under Section 605.04 of the Codified Ordinances, no person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting shall do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of such meeting. Members of the public are invited to speak only under the rules set by this council. Disruptions, including but not limited to speaking out of turn and making loud noises and loud utterances, are in violation of the rules and interfere with the due conduct of this lawful meeting. Such disruptions may constitute a misdemeanor and a violation of Section 605.04. Anyone who disrupts this lawful meeting in violation of the codified ordinances commits misdemeanors and is subject to prosecution. The following is the first and only warning. If this meeting is disrupted, I will gavel a halt to the proceedings and direct the assembled officers to escort any person participating in the disruption out of the chamber. Once persons participating in the disruption are outside of the chambers, the officers will close the doors and the disruptors will be handled as directed by the Director of Public Safety. The council proceedings will not begin again until those that participated in the disruption have left the chamber and the chamber doors are closed. Disruptors will not be allowed back in the chamber after the meeting resumes. Again, this is the first and only warning. Madam Clerk, please dispense with the journal.
By Councilmember Gray, that the reading of the minutes of the last meeting be dispensed with the journal approved, seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Thank you. Please share communications.
File numbers 780, 781, 782, 2026, from Larry Jones, the Second Commissioner, Department of Innovation and Technology. A cooperative purchasing agreement to purchase Samsung VXT quantity 160.
Thank you.
No, I'm not done.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Notification of cooperative purchasing agreement to purchase Dell Pro Max Tower T2. Notification of utilization for cooperative purchasing agreement for Cisco Room Navigator. File numbers 783, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, and 89. From Kim Roy Wilson, Director of Innovation and Technologies. Purchasing agreement for equipment for the Acela Reimagine program. Purchasing agreement for equipment for residential engagement SC. For purchasing agreement for the CGI Advantage implement. Purchasing agreement for ADA compliance of public-facing digital. Purchasing agreement for risk management origami implementation 7. Purchasing agreement for risk management origami implementation 8. Purchasing Agreement for Ticketing System 3. File numbers 790, 91, 92, 93, and 881, 2026, from Larry Jones, II Commissioner, Department of Innovation and Technology. Purchasing Agreement for Software for Microsoft License Renewal. Purchasing Agreement for Urban AI High-End Laptop. Cooperative Purchasing Agreement for Supplies for CDWG. Purchasing Agreement for BPS for IT Consultant 2. Purchasing Agreement for CDW for the purchase of equipment for an HID card reader, quantity 2. File number 794, 2026, from Council President Blaine Griffin, recommending approval of the appointment of Councilmember Austin Davis, Ward 7, to Steelyard Commons Tax Increment Financing Advisory Board. File number 795, 2026, oath of office for Patrick Dugan, Assistant Director, Department of Public Works. File number 796, 2026, oath of office for Scott Cahill, Assistant Director of Department of Building and Housing. File number 797, 2026, oath of office for Brandon Ngo, Community Relations Board Member. File number 798, 2026, oath of office for Yasir Hamdallah, Community Relations Board Member. Excuse me. File number 799, 2026, oath of office for Peter Witt, Community Relations Board Member. File number 800, 2026, oath of office for Reverend Anthony Small, Community Relations Board Member. File number 801, 2026, oath of office for Stephanie Morrison Herbick, Community Relations Board Member. File number 802, 2026, from Council President Blaine A. Griffin, designating without objection by council Vakita Stiggers to serve as Clerk of Council Pro Tem for all matters requiring the clerk's signature on June 9th and June 10th, 2026, and designating Rachel Nigro Scalish to serve as Clerk of Council Pro Tem for all matters requiring the clerk's signature on June 11th and June 12th, 2026. File number 803, 2026, from Mark E. Whipkey. Notice of intent to apply for Ohio Housing Finance Agency for the multifamily program known as Near West Side Homes, Ward 14. Excuse me. File number 804, 2026, from Ashley Schweikart. Notice of intent to apply to Ohio Housing Finance Agency for multifamily funding known as Woodhill Center, Ward 6. File number 805, 2026, from Jimmy McCune. Notice of intent to apply to Ohio Housing Finance Agency for multifamily funding program known as Ironwood Flats, Ward 3. File number 821, 2026, from Council President Blaine Griffin, pursuant to Chapter 163 of the Codified Ordinances, recommending approval of the appointment of Lisa Buffo to Cleveland Urban Forestry Commission as the city resident tree activist. File number 822, 2026, from Donald Colligraph, Mayor, Village of Walton Hills, regarding a notice of relocation due to proposed community reinvestment area exemption, proposing to construct a build-to-suit facility in the village for Cleveland Clinic Foundation. File number 823, 2026, from Chad Feeney, Mars Electric Company. Preliminary notice of performing certain labor or work of furnishing certain materials for the improvement to 1571 North Marginal Road, Ward 7. File number 885, 2026, from Director Martin J. Kane. In accordance with Section 129.20 .295, notice of acceptance of a loan in the amount of $26,311,637,000 from the Ohio Water Development Authority. File number 806-2026, dedication plat for Stanford Avenue Townhomes Subdivision Project in Ward 11, approved by Committee on Municipal Services and Properties, Development Planning and Sustainability. Without objection, plat approved. File number 807, dedication plat for ABOB LLC Subdivision Project in Ward 6, approved by Committees on Municipal Services and Properties and Development Planning and Sustainability. Without objection, plat approved. File number 808-2026, dedication plat for Woodhill Homes Development Project Phase 4 and 5, Ward 6, approved by Committees on Municipal Services and Properties and Development Planning and Sustainability. Without objection, plat approved. From the Ohio Division of Liquor Control, file number 809-2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 11917 to 19 Miles Avenue, Ward 2. File number 810-2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 7025 Fleet Avenue, Ward 3. File number 811-2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 5346 Doloff Road, Ward 3. File number 812-2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 1111 Fairfield Avenue, Ward 7. File number 813-2026, regarding a transfer of location application at 1936 West 25th Street, Ward 7. File number 814-2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 3074 West 14th Street, Ward 7. File number 815-2026, regarding a Stock LLC application at 1219 Main Avenue, Ward 7. File number 816-2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 11929 Miles Avenue, Ward 2. File number 817-2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 1156 West 11th Street, Ward 7. File number 818-2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 15315 Bartlett Avenue, Ward 1. File number 819-2026, regarding a new license application at 10323-27 Lorraine Avenue, Ward 12. File number 820-2026, regarding a transfer of license application at 9300 Miles Avenue, Ward 2.
Are there any condolence resolutions?
Resolutions of condolence by Councilmember Conwell for Cheryl Lynn Watson, by Councilmember Jones for Patricia Ann Simpson, by Councilmember Starr for Michael P. Carney, by Councilmember Jones for Ella Pearl Williams, by Councilmember Jones for Leola B. Hale, by Councilmember Polensek for Robert Wine, by Councilmember Starr for Paul D. Bradley III, by Councilmember Polensek for Thomas J. McNulty, by Councilmember Griffin for Douglas Garlington Dura, by Councilmember Starr for John Carville Hairston Jr., by Councilmember Conwell for Reverend Henry L. Perryman Jr., by Councilmember House Jones for Judith Love, by Councilmember House Jones for John C. Pops Tarrick, by Councilmember Gray for Eloise Bell, by Councilmember Griffin for Sylvia Valerie Thompson Jones, by Councilmember Jones for Ozzie Smith Jr., by Councilmember Santana for Kenneth Kenny Frazier Wiley Jr., by Councilmember Polensek for Elaine Carello, by Councilmember Starr for Deirdre Renee Edwards, by Councilmember Conwell for Cheryl Yvonne Coleman, by Councilmember Santana for Lydia G. Caraballo, by Councilmember Shaw for Stephen McLendon. By Councilmember Casey for Thomas George Klein.
I don't know if I was added to, I believe his name is Arthur A. Beasley Jr. For those of you who don't know, that is our colleague's father who passed away. Tiffany Beasley's father passed away. So if we could have all the council members be added to that, that would be great. Okay. Are there any other condolence resolutions? Councilwoman Jasmine Santana.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
noted.
Are there any other condolence resolutions? Councilman Austin Davis.
Thank you. Please hold out a number for Father Bob Kropak.
Could you repeat that? Father Bob?
Kropak.
Father Bob Brokeback.
So noted.
Okay. Are there any other condolence resolutions? Seeing no other condolence resolutions, can everyone rise for a moment of silence? Councilman Starr? Oh, no, that was Austin Davis. Thank you. Are there any congratulatory resolutions?
Resolutions of congratulations by Councilmember Slife for Purtis Nursery ribbon cutting. By Councilmember Starr for Cleveland Cavaliers' 10-year anniversary of the NBA championship. By Councilmember Gray for Cleveland Public Library groundbreaking ceremony for the Fleet branch. By Councilmember Polensek for Victor Stankus' birthday. By Councilmember House Jones for Jordan Stream Ministry Baptist Church. By Councilmember Bishop for Pastor Albert Maiden. By Councilmember House Jones for Gordon Crossing on their grand opening. By Councilmember Polensek for Sweet Bean grand opening. By Councilmember Jones for Anna Legan on her 100th birthday. By Councilmember Starr for the Centers of Glick Recovery Campus ribbon cutting and grand opening. By Councilmember Conwell for Glenville High School OSHA 2026 Boys Track and Field Champion. By Councilmember Conwell for Ginn Academy High School 2026 Boys Track and Field Championship. By Councilmember Griffin for Bonnie Tewan on her retirement. By resolutions of recognition by Councilmember Conwell for Black Child Development Institution. By Councilmember Griffin for Helen W. Williams, PhD, on her retirement. By Councilmember Griffin for April Locker on her retirement. By Councilmember Griffin for Phyllis Sistrunk posthumous recognition. By Councilmember Griffin for National Pan-Hellenic Council, Greater Cleveland.
Clarification, Madam Clerk.
Yes.
Councilman Shaw is, there's a resolution or a condolence resolution for Steve McClendon, and Councilman Shaw said that is not from him. So who did Steve McClendon come from so that we can attribute it to the right council person? Do we know? If we could get clarification on that, because Councilman Shaw said he is not aware of who that is. So that did not come from Councilman Shaw. Okay, so the family asked for it independently of the councilman. So, okay, but please always notify the councilman just so that he can know, because sometimes, that may happen. Also, can we get clarification? You had John Hairston Jr.?
No.
Who did you say in condolence?
There was another Hairston.
I just want to make sure, because me and Councilman Polensek. John Harvell Jr.
Carvel.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure we got clarification on those two things. All right. Okay, so that's Councilman Hairston's uncle. Okay, all right, thank you.
Councilmember Gray for Damascus Missionary Baptist Church. By Councilmember Starr for Downtown Cleveland Clean and Safe Program on their 20th anniversary. By Councilmember Santana for Zuleika Ruiz Barral. By Councilmember Conwell for Antoine Fisher. By Councilmember Gray for Ted Shuttlesworth Miracles for Cleveland. By Councilmember Griffin for Constance D. Harper. by Councilmember Casey for Sophie Jean Stalick, by Councilmember Griffin for Central State University National Alumni Association 2026 Conference, by Councilmember Jones for Barbara Lawrence, by Councilmember Griffin for Jacquees K. Simmons People's Choice Awards honoree, by Councilmember House Jones for Louis McCoy, by Council Members Slife, Griffin, Gray, Harsh, Casey for Tanya Maness, by Councilmember Santana for Dr. Emily Lee.
Thank you. We do not have any presentations. We'll move immediately to first reading emergency ordinances referred for administrative review and committee review.
Ordinance 744, 2026, by Council Members Slife and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Port Control to enter into one or more requirement contracts with Siemens Industry for software, labor, and materials necessary to maintain, repair, upgrade, and expand the existing Apogee building automation system. Ordinance 745, 2026, by Council Members Polensek, Starr, and Griffin by departmental request, to amend Section 13547 of the codified ordinances relating to emergency medical service clinical agreements. Ordinance 746, 2026, by Council Members Conwell and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Health to apply for and accept a grant from the United States Department of Homeland Security for the BioWatch program, and authorizing Director to enter into various written standard purchase and requirement contracts for courier services needed to transport BioWatch samples. Ordinance 747, 2026, by Council Members Davis, Bishop, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, to change the name of a portion of Scranton Road to Eagle Avenue. Ordinance 748, 2026, by Council Members Bishop, Starr, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Parks and Recreation to enter into one or more contracts with Ohio City Incorporated to provide a variety of family and youth programming activities. Ordinance 749, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Finance to pay as moral claims the sum opposite the name of the claimant. Ordinance 750, 2026, by Council Members Starr and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Human Resources to employ one or more professional consultants to design, develop, and implement comprehensive training and professional development program for department staff. Ordinance 751, 2026, by Council Members Starr and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Human Resources to employ one or more professional services to administer the city's employee assistance program and to provide necessary training to various city departments. Ordinance 752, 2026, by Council Members Starr and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Human Resources to employ one or more professional consultants for the administration of Family and Medical Leave Act benefits for city employees. Ordinance 758, 2026, by Council Members Casey, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of renewing, repairing, and replacing various water mains in 2021 and 22, and authorizing Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more public improvement contracts for the making of the improvement. Ordinance 759, 2026, by Council Members Santana, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, to vacate a portion of an unnamed alley south of Train Avenue between West 56th and Cantor Avenue. Ordinance 760, 2026, by Council Members Davis, Bishop, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, to vacate all of the unnamed alley south of Abbey Avenue. Ordinance 761, 2026, by Council Members Griffin, Bishop, and Santana by departmental request, to vacate a portion of East 81st Street. Ordinance 762, 2026, by Council Members Griffin, Bishop, and Santana by departmental request, to vacate a portion of Mount Carmel Road. Ordinance 763, 2026, by council members Santana and Griffin, by departmental request, to amend the title in sections 1, 2, and 4 of Ordinance 671, 2023, as amended, relating to various contracts to provide financial assistance to projects providing housing in the city of Cleveland, and to add the Department of Development. Ordinance 764, 2026, by council members Santana, Bishop, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the mayor and the commissioner of purchases and supplies to sell certain city-owned property no longer needed for the city's public use to the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 8 for purposes of property consolidation and green space maintenance. Ordinance 766, 2026, by council members House Jones, Griffin, Bishop, and Santana, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to issue a permit to UC City Center LLC to encroach into the public rights-of-way of Chester Avenue, Martin Luther King Drive Jr., and Stokes Boulevard. Ordinance 767, 2026, by council members Davis, Bishop, and Santana, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to issue a permit to Cleveland Public Theater to encroach into the public right-of-way of Detroit Avenue by installing and maintaining a new blade sign. Ordinance 768, 2026, by council members Slife, Bishop, and Santana, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into a maintenance, inspection, and repair agreement with and to issue a permit to the Cleveland Clinic Foundation to encroach onto, over, and within the public right-of-way of Lorraine Avenue. Ordinance 769, 2026, by council members Davis, Bishop, Santana, Casey, and Griffin, by departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Capital Projects or other appropriate director to co-sponsor a green infrastructure grant from Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District for improvements to the Capitol Theater, Gordon Square parking lot, and to enter into one or more agreements with Gordon Square Arts District, Cleveland Improvement Corporation for the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District and Northwest Neighborhoods CDC or their assigns. Ordinance 770, 2026, by council members Starr, House Jones, Bishop, Santana, and Griffin, by departmental request, giving consent to the Norfolk Southern Corporation to proceed with the improvement of replacing the Superior Avenue Railroad Bridge and railroad track and replacing and repositioning support columns under the bridge on Superior Avenue at no cost to the city, and authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into any agreements relative to the improvement. Ordinance 878, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into an agreement with American Legal Publishing for the professional services necessary to provide online access and web hosting services for the Charter and the codified ordinances, to access the web hosting services, and to edit and post all new amendatory ordinances online, update the code online regularly, edit and print replacement pages with the updates to the code and all other services that may be necessary.
Thank you. First reading, emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 741, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, to amend Section 1 of Ordinance 618, 2026, to conduct a citywide youth football program. Ordinance 742, 2026, by Councilmember House Jones, consenting and approving the issuance of a permit for the Walk for Unity 5K event on October 11, 2026. Ordinance 743, 2026, by Councilmember Jones, authorizing the Director of Department of Aging to enter into an agreement with Famicos Foundation for Senior Lawn Care Program, providing grass cutting and maintenance through the use of Ward 1 Neighborhood Equity Funds. Ordinance 753, 2026, by council members Davis, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 1 of Ordinance 242, 2025 to relating to the addition of certain property at 2164 to 2214 West 25th Street to the Northeast Ohio Advanced Energy District. Ordinance 754, 2026, by council members Conwell and Griffin by departmental request to amend Sections 2 and 4 of Ordinance 109, 2026, to change the name of Elements of Internal Movement External Pull to Elements of Internal Movement External Pull to replace the file. Ordinance 755, 2026, by councilmember Griffin by departmental request to amend Sections 33, 35, 37, and 38 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to compensation for various classifications. Ordinance 756, 2026, by council members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Public Safety for the Impaired Driving Enforcement Program. Ordinance 757, 2026, by councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees and amend Section 47 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 765, 2026, by council members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to enter into one or more contracts with Convergent Technologies for the equipment installation, maintenance, and annual software subscriptions for the Evolve Express and Evolve Expedite weapons screening system at the new police headquarters. Ordinance 776, 2026, by councilmember Polensek, authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with YOU Resource Foundation for the Inc. YOU Classroom Cruiser Mobile Education Project through the use of Ward 10 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 777, 2026, by councilmember Casey, authorizing Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with Bel Air Puritas Development Corporation for the Events and Engagement Program through the use of Ward 13 Neighborhood Equity Funds. Ordinance 778, 2026, by Councilmember Jones, authorizing Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with New Sardis Primitive Baptist Church for the Youth Workforce Development Program through the use of Ward 1 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 779, 2026, by Councilmember Polensek, authorizing the Director of Department of Development to enter into agreement with Silver Connections LLC for Silver Center signage through the use of Ward 10 Neighborhood Equity Funds. Ordinance 879, 2026, by Councilmember Jones, to add the name Daz Band Way as a secondary and honorary name to Lotus Drive between Lee Road and East 160th Street. Ordinance 882, 2026, by Councilmembers Griffin and Gray, authorizing the Director of Department of Aging to enter into an agreement with Community Housing Solutions for Slavic Village Home Repair Project and safe housing through the use of closed Ward 12 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 884, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into a First Amendment to the agreement with Granicus LLC for the purchase of additional software subscriptions and services for the constituent management system for Cleveland City Council.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Gray, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Star. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Star. On 7/57/2026, 14 yeas, 1 nay. On all others, 15 yeas.
Thank you. First reading emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 771, 2026, by Councilmember Conwell, objecting to the transfer of location of a D5 liquor permit to 1024 East 152nd Street. Resolution 772, 2026, by Councilmember Harsh, withdrawing objection to the renewal of a D5, D6 liquor permit at 2218 Broadview Road, repealing Resolution 943, 2025, objecting to said renewal. Resolution 773, 2026, by Councilmember Casey, withdrawing objection to the transfer of ownership of a C1, C2 liquor permit to 4200 West 130th Street and repealing Resolution 374, 2026, objecting to said permit. Resolution 774, 2026, by Councilmember House Jones, withdrawing objection to the transfer of ownership of a C1, C2 liquor permit at 5915 St. Clair Avenue and repealing Resolution 1227, 2025, objecting to said permit. Resolution 775, 2026, by Councilmember Davis, objecting to the renewal of a D1, D2, D3, D3A, and D6 liquor permit at 1909 and 1917 West 25th Street. Resolution 883, 2026, by Councilmember Starr, opposing enacted Ohio House Bill 492 based upon concerns regarding its potential impact on civil liberties, community trust, racial equity, and the relationship between Cleveland residents and law enforcement, and urging the Ohio General Assembly to review the implementation of House Bill 492 and consider amendments that provide additional protections against unnecessary escalation, discriminatory enforcement, and violations of constitutional rights.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Gray, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Star. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Star. 15 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 556, 2026, as amended by Councilmembers Slife, Casey, Santana, and Griffin, declaring a moratorium on the review and issuance of zoning permits, certificates of occupancy, and other license or permit applications, including licenses or permits issued by the Department of Public Utilities for data centers in the city of Cleveland. Ordinance 557, 2026, by Mayor Bibb, Council Members Starr and Griffin, creating a designated outdoor refreshment area and establishing requirements to ensure public health and safety within such area, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Ordinance 586, 2026, as amended by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request to amend the title in sections 1, 2, and 3 of Ordinance 325, 2025, and to supplement the ordinance by adding new section 1A relating to the Oracle customer care and billing system.
Madam Clerk, hold on 1 second. Councilman Starr wants to speak to one of those pieces.
On 556, can you mark me as a no?
So noted. Ordinance 587, 2026, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 523, 2025, relating to interconnection service for distributed generation. Ordinance 588, 2026, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 528.26 of the codified ordinances relating to net metering service. Ordinance 596, 2026, as amended by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Utilities to exercise the first option to renew a contract with One Call Concepts Utility Locating Service for the various divisions of the Department of Public Utilities. Ordinance 598, 2026, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to exercise the second option to renew a contract with Kyndryl, Inc. to provide professional services for hosting and hosting support for the Oracle Customer Care and Billing System. Ordinance 599, 2026, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with Hatch Company to provide laboratory equipment, supplies, and services for operation, calibration, preventive maintenance, and appropriate repairs, and to certify accuracy of laboratory and inline process equipment for the Department of Public Utilities. Ordinance 600, 2026, as amended by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more contracts with ST Engineering Telematics Wireless for the hosting of technical support required to manage the Bright City Lighting System. Ordinance 601, 2026, as amended by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of constructing a new pump station and ground-level tank at the Pleasant Valley Road Station and demolishing and removing the existing station and tank, authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more public improvement contracts to construct the improvement, acquiring, accepting, and recording necessary rights-of-way, authorizing the Director to employ one or more professional consultants necessary for the improvement. Ordinance 602, 2026, as amended by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of inspecting, repairing, renewing, and/or replacing transmission water mains, valves, and appurtenances, and making corrosion control inspections and improvements as part of the transmission water main renewal and corrosion prevention and control program. Ordinance 612, 2026, as amended by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with ST Engineering Telematics Wireless for proprietary adaptive control photocells needed for LED streetlights and security lighting fixtures. Ordinance 621, 2026, as amended by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request to enact new Section 523.252 of the codified ordinances relating to interconnection into the division of Cleveland Public Power's electric system by qualifying facilities, eligible large commercial customers, and eligible large industrial customers. Ordinance 625, 2026, as amended by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more requirement contracts of labor and materials needed to repair, maintain, or replace water mains, fire hydrants, service connections, valves, and appurtenances, including tree lawn restoration and other repairs for the Division of Water. One or more requirement contracts for labor and materials needed for the pavement restoration, including installation for the Division of Water. Ordinance 651, 2026, as amended by Council Members Polensek and Griffin to amend Section 181.102 of the codified ordinances relating to software-related purchases. Ordinance 662, 2026, by Council Members Davis, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Mayor and Commissioner of Purchases and Supplies to acquire and reconvey properties presently owned by Starling Stone LLC or its designee for the purpose of entering into the chain of title prior to the adoption of tax increment financing legislation for Bedrock Rock Entertainment Amphitheater project. Ordinance 664, 2026, as amended by Mayor Bibb and Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the mayor and the directors of law and port control to enter into the First Amendment to a settlement agreement between the cities of Brook Park and Cleveland relating to the International Exposition Center and Emerald Park Joint Economic Development Zone and establishing special revenue fund. Excuse me one second. Ordinance 666, 2026, as amended by Council Members Bishop, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of designing, constructing, rehabilitating, renovating, replacing, or otherwise improving certain areas of Cleveland City Hall and Public Auditorium, and authorizing the Director of Capital Projects and/or Public Works as appropriate to enter into one or more public improvement contracts for the making of the improvements, enter into one or more professional services and other contracts needed to implement the improvements, to apply for and accept grants and gifts, and authorizing the direct employment of the necessary labor for the Office of Capital Projects. Ordinance 683, 2026, as amended by Mayor Bibb, Councilmember Griffin, authorizing Director of Public Safety to enter into one or more contracts with Flock Group for the acquisition and/or renewal of the annual license and the professional services of maintenance for the Flock Safety Automatic License Plate Reader Solution for the Division of Police, Department of Public Safety.
Madam Clerk, we have a couple of people that want to speak to that issue.
Council President, could you please mark me as a no on ordinance 683, 2026?
Duly noted. Councilman Shaw.
Can you mark me as a no on 683 as well, Council President?
Duly noted. Councilwoman Santana.
Council President, mark me as a no, 683, 2026.
Duly noted. Councilman Harsh.
Also a no on 683.
Duly noted. Councilwoman House Jones.
Please mark me as a no at 664, 2026, and 683, 2026.
Duly noted. Councilman Austin Davis.
Council President, please mark me as a no for 683.
Thank you. That is everyone. Councilman Polensek.
Please mark me as a no as 664.
Duly noted.
No, I'm not done reading.
All right. All right, that's everyone.
Ordinance 684, 2026, by Council Members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance for the fiscal year 2025 Burn Justice Assistance Grant, local solicitation and authorizing one or more contracts with Cuyahoga County for the cities of Euclid, Parma, Cleveland Heights, East Cleveland, Maple Heights, and Garfield Heights. Ordinance 685, 2026, by Council Members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request to supplement the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio relating to loaned artwork public displays for exhibition in City Hall administered by the Department of Public Works. Ordinance 686, 2026, by Council Members Starr, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the mayor and the commissioner of purchases and supplies to acquire and reconvey properties presently owned by East Ninth Scarlet LLC or its designee for the purpose of entering into the chain of title prior to the adoption of tax increment financing legislation. Ordinance 689, 2026, as amended by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Finance to enter into one or more contracts with PFM Financial Advisors, LLC, for as-needed financial advisory and consulting services. Ordinance 694, 2026, as amended by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Parks and Recreation to employ one or more tree brokers to provide wholesale tree supply services for the Division of Urban Forestry for a period of 2 years. Ordinance 695, 2026, by council members House Jones, Santana, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing Director of Development to enter into tax increment financing agreement with RJL 2230 or its designee to assist with the finance of Heller Keller Cone project and to provide for payments to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District and to declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose. Ordinance 696, 2026, by council members House Jones, Santana, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Development to enter into a tax increment financing agreement with 2202 Superior and/or its designee to assist with financing of the Heller Keller Cone project and to provide for payments to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District and declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose. Ordinance 698, 2026, as amended by council members Polensek and Griffin, by departmental request, to amend sections 40501, 03, 06, 08, 10, and 11 of the codified ordinances to supplement the codified ordinances by enacting new section 40514 and to repeal sections 405, 05, 09, and 12, all relating to the vehicle impoundment and towing operations administered by the Department
Madam
of
Clerk,
Public Safety.
Councilman Shaw would like to speak to that.
Please mark me down as a no for 686, 695, and 696 as well.
So noted.
Thank you.
Ordinance 706, 2026, by council members Starr and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Human Resources to employ one or more professional consultants, software developers, and vendors to develop, implement, and/or acquire software solutions or licenses necessary to develop and implement a lifestyle spending account program for the Department of Human Resources.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Gray, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. On 6/51/2026, 14 yeas, 1 nay. On 6/64/2026, 12 yeas, 3 nays. On 6/66/2026, 14 yeas, 1 nay. On 6/83/2026, 9 yeas, 6 nays. On 6/86/2026, 13 yeas, 2 nays. On 6/95/2026, 13 yeas, 2 nays. On 6/96/2026, 13 yeas, 2 nays. On 5/56/2026, 14 yeas, 1 nay. On all others, 15 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 457, 2026, by council members Shaw, Bishop, Polensek, Hudson, and Griffin, by departmental request, declaring the necessity and intention to appropriate property for the public use of constructing a new fire station number 23 for the Division of Fire located at 122 Madison Avenue. Resolution 708, 2026, as amended by Council Members House Jones, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, appointing an Assessment Equalization Board to hear objections to estimated assessments with respect to the creation of the Cleveland Superior Arts Improvement District in the city and the initial plan for the public services for the district, and declaring an emergency. Resolution 713, 2026, by Council Members Davis, Bishop, and Santana, by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of Carter Road. Resolution 733, 2026, by Councilmember Davis, supporting the West Creek Conservancy's Clean Ohio Green Space Fiscal Year 27 grant application to the Ohio Public Works Commission for the Irishtown Bend Restoration Phase 2 project.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Gray, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Star. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Star. 15 yeas.
Thank you. Are there any introductions? There are no introductions. Are there any announcements? Seeing no announcements, Councilman Starr.
Yes, I want to make sure I make an announcement and say happy birthday to Councilwoman Deborah Gray as well as her twin sister Dolores Gray. You know I love you.
Thank you. Are there any miscellaneous? Councilwoman Nikki Hudson. Could we turn her mic on? There it is. There it is.
Thank you. I just have an introduction. I'd like to welcome Ward 11 resident Giovanni Reyes from Greeneries Lawn Care. He's also a senior chore program provider.
Outstanding. Are there any other miscellaneous? Councilman Starr.
No, I just want to do an introduction. I have a Ward 5 resident, Gregory Parker III, who has shadowed me twice, once last week and he shadowed me today. He's a Rail 5 resident, one of our young leaders in the making. Wanted to make sure I just shout him out. Thank you for working with day.
Thank you. Any other miscellaneous? Any other miscellaneous? Seeing no miscellaneous, Madam Clerk, please excuse the absences. There are no absences. This council is adjourned to the call of the chair. The next meeting of council will be on August the 19th, 2026. Thank you, everyone.